well, Picasso rhymed his shadow and his work. But looking back, there's more than that. Picasso was inspired by African sculpture because it subverts European proportions. But there is a metaphysical reason. You see a big-looking head and a small body. That's because the adulthood of your life is connected to childhood. So the African sculpture might look almost embryonic, but it's an old person. Now, that's very interesting. That leads Picasso to fracture space geometrically and create cubism. And you could call cubism a marriage of African art and European imagination, black and white. African art, European imagination. And yes, you can read books about cubism, and they might not mention the African inspiration. In the same way, I've met people with degrees in Russian literature, and they said, oh, I never realized that Pushkin, the national Russian poet, his grandfather was African, working for the Russian Tsar. And of course, when you come to language, one word can inspire a poem. In this case, half caste inspired a poem. But of course, there is a subtext, like happens in language, even if you don't mean any harm. When you say half caste, the subtext is, oh, purity has been corrupted here. Purity has been subverted. But keep your purity in inverted commas. The Nazis were obsessed with purity. Think of all the atrocities in recent years, Bosnia, etc., Rwanda, whatever. You know, ethnic cleansing is now the term used for purity. Ethnic cleansing, as vile an expression as collateral damage. Excuse me, standing on one leg, I'm half caste. Explain yourself what you mean when you say half caste. You mean when Picasso mixed red and green is a half caste canvas. Explain yourself what you mean when you say half caste. You mean when light and shadow mix in the sky is a half caste weather. In that case, England weather nearly always half caste. Some of them clouds half caste, till them overcast. So spiteful them don't want the sun to pass around. Explain yourself what you mean when you say half caste. You mean when Tchaikovsky sits down at the piano and mix a black key with a white key is a half caste symphony. Explain yourself what you mean. I'm listening to you with the keen half of the ear. I'm looking at you with the keen half of the eye. And I'm sure you will understand why I offer half a hand when I'm introduced to you. When I sleep at night, I close half an eye. Consequently, I dream half a dream. And then moon begins to glow. I half cast human being. Cast half a shadow. But come back tomorrow with the whole of your eye, and the whole of your ear, and the whole of your mind. And I'll tell you the other half of my story.